Fall is here, there's a chill in the air, and the Anomaly Film Festival is right around the corner. It's November 8th through the 12th at the Little Theater in Rochester, New York. Check it out at anomalyfilmfest.com. It's the 5th year of showing the best in independent genre films, action, sci-fi, horror, dark comedy, and really whatever else that you wouldn't get a chance to see on the big screen. It's Anomaly Film Fest at the Little Theater, November 8th through 12th, anomalyfilmfest.com.
Game over, man. Game over.
Masters of couch potato style. Punches and popcorn.
Rapid strike.
I ain't got time to breathe.
Welcome back to another episode of Punches and Popcorn, the martial arts podcast where we break into the best, the worst, the history, and the science of martial arts film. And tonight we're bringing you a special Rapid Strike episode with a couple special guests. Unfortunately, we're down one of our couch potato ninjas, but we are still here. So I am your host, Michael Huntone, and with me is one of my partners in crime, our genius, the ultimate schlockinator, Jason Bills.
Happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Jay. And again, we have some special guests tonight to talk about a really awesome, exciting movie that just came out, and I'm so glad to have you both join us. First, for listeners of our show, a longtime friend of the show who was our first guest like 2 years ago on our third episode when we covered the raid. And this is the wonderful and talented Jackie McGriff. She's director and co-producer of Our Voices Project, the production company that centers on Black, Brown, and Indigenous people. And some of you will remember has been a partner with Jay and I in a special Oscars-focused podcast. We need to talk about the Oscars that we did a couple years ago, was absent this year because there's a lot of stuff going on, and it was a little tough for us, and we're focusing elsewhere, but hopefully it'll be back. But hey, you don't want to hear me. You want to hear Jackie. So, Jackie, thank you for joining us.
Yes, I'm so happy to hear it, and happy to be back. The raid has actually, I'll talk about one connection and then I'll go back to introducing your next guest. But the raid is actually one of the films that Dev Patel was inspired by. When I heard that in an interview that I was listening to, I literally screamed because if y'all listening to the episode that I was on 2 years ago when we were talking about the raid, I am a fiend when it comes to the raid movies. That is that connection. So yeah, super happy to hear.
Wonderful. Yes. Well, we're so excited to have you here to talk about this movie that we're talking about tonight. One of the things we talk about on the show a lot is about how much we love the Rochester film community, just the group of people just like us that love movies and love just talking about movies. And our next guest is a brand new guest to our show. At work, she's a tech professional, but she is also a big time film aficionado. And within that Rochester film community, she's definitely a really well-known voice and advocate for movies. Kristen, I'm going to introduce your name here if you want to give you like your social media where people will know you. But again, if you're involved in our wonderful community centered on our beloved little independent theater, you should know Kristen. And if you don't, you got to get more plugged in. So again, Kristen, I consider you a rock movie celebrity, and I'm glad you're here again. This is, without further ado, KRISTEN SEVERSKY.
Oh man, thank you. I usually when people are like, "Oh, I see you on social media," I usually apologize immediately. So that's kind of my first disclaimer of I don't mean for people to totally follow a lot of my noise. It's more of my external processing. So thank you for having me for more external processing because that's exactly what I'm excited to do here. Because yeah, this movie definitely elicited some like, "Oh, we have to detangle a lot of this energy." So I'm thrilled that Jackie was feeling the same thing, and now we have a platform to do that detangling. So thank you.
Well, I'm so glad that both of you joined us here again. So I guess, and I don't think I've actually introduced the movie. That'd probably be helpful for people. So the movie we're talking about tonight is brand relatively new this year, 2024's Monkey Man, starring and directed by in his first directorial film or directorial debut, Dev Patel. So this a really exciting action movie, and again, just to give some like background here, Jackie and Kristen are both people that we talk about movies, right? We talk about movies online. And like both of you are important parts of the community that we have here that makes Rochester such a great film community. And I saw Jackie and Kristen online, in one of those social media avenues talking about, did you see this movie? Did you see this movie? We have to talk about this. And I'm like, oh, yes, but do it here. So yeah, let's talk about Monkey Man.
And just to keep it like, authentic to this platform, we have not talked about it at all since we had that exchange of we need to talk about this. So I think that's the true raw of we're gonna dig in now, and I've been very excited to have this moment.
Yeah, and it's a good connection because I know both Jay and I and Dom as well, even though he couldn't be here tonight, have been like since it came out saying like, oh, we got to see this, we have to talk about it. So it's just the confluence of like the stars are aligned. Let's do it. Let's watch it. Let's talk about it. So let's just start with these rapid strikes to kind of start a little raw. Monkey Man, what did you think?
Okay. I was like, I'm sorry. I could just like go on for ages. And okay. So first of all, it is an incredibly shot film. Can we just like say that? Like there were some scenes I was like screaming, not because of like, I mean, of course, like there's a lot happening. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of, fighting sequences and all that. A lot of things to be excited about. And especially the cinematography. Dev, which I can go into, I'll go into a little bit later. Just how many things had to go wrong in order to get this movie made. Like there were so many. I have a full list. I'm ready. I have a full list of like things that went wrong, and for the cinematography to be that well done, like, oh my God, I was just like, how? It's an incredibly shot film, as well as just a well told film. I like that he puts a lot of course, like drawing from his ancestry, drawing from stories from India. Like it's a beautifully made film, well thought out film, and it's just a lot of fun. Well acted, of course. But that's initially what comes to mind. I was like, when I came out of the film, I was like, and when can I see it again? Like seriously.
And you saw it in the theater, Jackie? You saw it in theater?
Yes, I did.
Nice. I'm jealous.
It was literally there for like it was there for like a minute. And then now it's on Peacock. So if you haven't watched it already, please go and watch it on Peacock. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my high level take too, was just by that end, I just kind of sat there like, I think I felt everything at some point of this movie. And I love movies that do that just have that span of like, you're laughing, you're crying, you're engaged, you're fist pumping. Like it had all of that. And like you said, the way that it's so well told too, I was so impressed by the way, I feel like you're getting a lot of mythology, you're getting into Hinduism, you're getting into these themes and this cultural background that maybe, me for sure, a lot of my disclaimers here, I don't know a lot of this stuff. And it inspired me to go read and learn and understand it more, but it wasn't done in a way that was just like over my head. It was so well laid out. It gave that kind of backbone of here's the story and we're going to play it out with the cinematography. And what a wonderful way to tell a story. It was so good.
How about you, Jay?
I did see this on Peacock. I have failed the theater and I apologize for that. But I was blown away too. I've been a big Dev Patel person for years now, and like just rooting for him ever since like Slumdog Millionaire is like a more of a young adult / child actor, and then working his way up because I don't know, like a person of color, like it's hard for to actually find roles. So I always rooted for him because he just was such a great like presence in Slumdog, and then he got cast as Prince Zuko in the M. Night Shyamalan Airbender movie, and I was like, okay, because I was worried at the time. And of course, things happened. We'll move past it. Netflix didn't fix anything recently. We'll just watch the animated show and be happy with that. But anyways, like he'd still be in things like recently, and by recently maybe it was years ago now. But The Green Knight was just so awesome, and I love that he got to be like sort of lead in that. And so when I found out, I had no idea he was interested in writing and directing, and I was so blown away because it has the energy of like not just a first-time director, but a really talented first-time director. And he wrote this, and I'm pretty sure he
No.
produced it. Like he.
Mhm.
So what I just thought was like an on-camera presence and talent is behind the camera. Like Jack, you alluded to a minute ago, like all the production problems this film had. It was insane, and he shouldered this throughout it and brought it, to the finish line. And I have so much more respect than I already did for this man. Like I hope and pray he gets to make more movies. This is such a treat. This movie, I was messed up by this. Yeah. See, so I'm gonna stop babbling. Mike, tell us what you thought.
Well, I'd echo everything that all of you said. I shared a lot of those same reactions. For me, one of the things that I love about the genre that we explore with this podcast is, the heart of it comes from the foreign market, from Hong Kong and China, right? But I love that at its heart in martial arts film, like you get to explore different, areas and countries and cultures that you might not in like other big films. For example, the film that we had Jackie on for, The Raid, is filmed in Indonesia and it's set in Indonesia. Which fun connection here. This movie was mostly filmed in Indonesia. But I really liked this.
Yes.
And as someone who also works in tech, like Kristen, I have a lot of my coworkers are Indian. Some of them are Indian living here, but we have a lot of coworkers that are currently in India. And I love like talking and learning about their culture. So it was cool to see something and be like, oh, this is, I'll learn something more here. And this is a movie that like we can talk about. And so that kind of thing was really cool, just to get exposed to, areas that outside is admittedly a big weak spot for me, which is pretty lame because, I think everybody knows that like the Indian film industry, like Bollywood, but even beyond Bollywood, is massive and huge. And especially in our community in Rochester, like pretty much any theater here is always showing at least like one or two different Indian films. So it was kind of like, well, I can use martial arts to get me into, kind of like RRR did that for me a little bit too. The year before,
absolutely.
like, all right, this gives me an excuse to kind of get in here and learn things. And then again, just, everything that all of you said, like the visual feast that you get, it is crazy. So, so let's talk about that. I'm really interested in kind of starting with the cinematography. If like, what did you guys think of that visual style?
Holy crap. Okay. So this is also, again, because I keep alluding to all the problems that were on set, which I will list at some point. So this man at a few points in the film, because he wasn't able to get all of his, okay, let me back up a little bit. So because this film is shot in Indonesia because he couldn't film in India. Like they had to leave because of COVID. So they ended up going over. Right. So they ended up shooting over in Indonesia, and he couldn't get most of his camera equipment in. So some of those scenes are actually shot on his iPhone.
Yeah, and GoPro too, I read.
Yes, on his this man shot on his iPhone. And another thing too, because in cinematography, right, is more than just how it looks. Like it's also like the tech. So just for the people listening. Anyway, so at one point too, so he only had 8 stuntmen, by the way, for this.
Really?
He only 8. Because he lost most of his crew. Like it's crazy. That fight scene that's in the elevator between all those, like him and all those men.
Oh yeah.
There is a stunt man who's shooting that. And the reason why the shots are so good is because he knows the rhythm of like the fight choreography. So he's able to get all the interesting like shots and everything that like a normal camera operator wouldn't get.
Right.
That's such a cool detail.
Listen, I was losing it, Kristen. I've been losing it over this film. Then there's okay. So the reason why I keep going like is because the one scene that like sticks out for me is that shot. I think it's I don't know if it's in the trailer. I can't remember. But there's that one shot where he's coming through the elevator and it's just red. It's just red and black.
Oh,
and I was just like, this right here is the shot. Like, I don't know, and then
Yes.
we may have to talk about it later on if the Oscars doesn't talk about it. But I was like, I'm sorry. Best cinematography, instantly. I don't need to see anything else. I don't need to see anything
You're like, I'm
else.
done. We're good
Like,
here.
I'm done. We're good. Awesome. Monkey Man. Yes. Okay. Great. Wrap it up. Awesome. It's just like there's like so many colors. It's very
Yes.
like rich. In the way that it's shot.
Very raw too. I mean, just
Yeah.
the sceneries in that river, that water scene. That's the one that comes to my mind early on too, where he's looking up and that, just that, that's where it's getting into the mythology too of the
Right.
mango and the sun and that circle in the sky. And I'm like, but it's just like raw sewage water kind of thing going on. So it's like this whole, you have the story, but you're having the caste system, the reality of society layered into it.
Right.
And it was just, I remember that moment just being like, that shot alone is doing so much work for this story. And again, back to that cinematography, is just gorgeous. It's so well done.
Yeah, he said something like he wanted to obviously make an action movie, but he also wanted to infuse it with a bit of culture, which I think really shows in the film and just really elevates it, makes it something unique in the genre. I'm so glad we're talking about it.
Yeah, and it's interesting, like, that he chose to, in the climactic scenes set during Diwali. So there's a lot of, the costumes,
ads, the banners, and everything.
Right.
The joy. Yeah. No, he did. I did catch some videos afterwards just to catch Dev's take on it all. To just see like where was he coming out with it, like which angle, because I have my takeaway and what I got from it, but what was his kind of origin and seeing how he wanted to depict that underdog story and to really give people, especially with a faith lens to it, of just how do you lead into the faith and bring people together, not the opposite when it gets weaponized so often.
Right.
That story just resonated because to me, I didn't even have to be part of a specific culture to understand that message. Like that is just a wide net that we're seeing in a lot of corners right now. And I thought that was a beautifully timed message.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so there's this whole layer with the Baba Shakti, right? As like this guru religious leader, but also like leading this charge into politics. I don't know, but you felt like connections with, this is like India politics, but I mean, we can see this in
global.
Right. Very, very, right?
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those people that are supposed to be like the people who are seen as like a servant of the people, who's like very wise, like, someone who you feel is supposed to be safe is not actually safe, just speaks to so many things in our society, in our culture. But then like just seeing it all over the world, right? You look to this one person and you look to these people as your guides, the person who's giving you direction, the people whose lives you've seen as examples of like the kind of lives that you want to lead, and then come to find out they're just as corrupt as some of these people out here. So it's like,
oh yeah,
who can you trust? Who can you actually model after? So it's so many different points just hit spot on.
Well, bringing that underdog element back though, I loved when he got into is it Hijra community? That was when the story really took a new lens for me. I was like, oh, this is a whole new chapter of like, okay, now we're getting that marginalized story of Hanuman tied to the Hijra community, and the reality of third gender, anything in a realm where we have our struggles with trans life here in the States. I was just like, okay, so this is all these are all parallels of how do we bring marginalized communities that see that oppression and they work together to push against this through faith, which is the added element that I think is a part that challenges me in my notions sometimes, where I'm like, it can be that beautiful, it can be done that way, and what a powerful way to do it.
Right. Well, that's one of the things that, like, for me, when I'm constantly telling people about this film, because I'm treating it as though like you need to see this film, like part of my job. It's basically part of my job to convince everyone to go see this movie. When I tell them that it's a very thoughtful film, that's one of the things that I'm talking about, because I'm sitting there with a friend and I'm going, so you mean to tell? So there's a whole transgender community, and they're the ones who are like lifting him up and being his guidance. Like, and it's again through that, like what you're saying, Kristen, like through that faith lens. I'm just like, what other film does this? Like, there's not many that we see, at least, like, you know, in our Western society, right? There's not a lot that we see here that's done in that way.
Especially in this genre, an action movie. How is this happening?
Right. That's why I was losing it. I was like, it's like, it's almost like John Wick meets like a really, and also this is where like the Jordan Peele effect was coming to mind for me, because I understood that Dev was the director and the star of it, but when I saw Jordan Peele, I was like, ooh, that added another layer to it on top. And I don't know how involved he was with the story and the telling of it, but I just figured this is going to have some social bend to it and told really well. Just thinking about Get Out and Us and all the other elements that he's done, I've always enjoyed how he layers in the fear of the reality as part of that action and horror in a way. And did I nailed it with that one. The second I switched to that Community, I was like, oh my god, he's going for this now too. This is so good.
Oh, well, and it's interesting that you bring up
Netflix,
the horror
Netflix
side,
got
because...
this.
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead, Mike. I like where you said horror, and I got excited.
Oh, just that there's times in this movie, especially towards the end, that I almost felt like this feels almost more of a horror film at times, the way it's shot, than an action film. Because I have to say, like, especially by the end, this felt like this might be one of the bloodiest films, especially like an action film, that I've seen in a long time. Like, yes, we get through the John Wicks, and they nod at John Wick at the beginning with the
yes,
John
they
Wick's
do.
done, right? But it, like, the way, not just the violence is there, but it's like connecting to that style, the way that like blood is always not just like splashed across someone's face, but when you get the close-ups of it, like oozing down their hands and like across their feet, and all, like, it's visually plays with like blood as an element in it, and there's so much of it in it. It felt like that's something you see in horror films, right? That like you where with
that visceral effect, kind of like really in it.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, it really, like, man, it made me squeamy at times. Like, holy crap!
I was going to say. So they made this independently. Netflix bought it for $30 million back in, I think, 2021. It then sat on the shelves because they were concerned about, I guess they bought it, but maybe didn't watch it or didn't watch it fully through, but they got really like scared of the India market, because that's sort of a big market for them. But they were concerned about anxieties over a depiction of like the political landscape, and there was a right-wing Hindu nationalist character. So they sort of backburnered it, and so it just sat on the shelves. And like Dev's like, well, you bought my film for $30 million, so I made some money, so that's cool, but I would like people to see it. So then just randomly he gets a call from Jordan Peele, and I don't know how Jordan Peele knows that this movie's floating around at Netflix.
Right.
But it's just like you said, Kristen, is it's very Jordan Peele in that way. So somehow he, like a kindred spirit, and also an actor turned director, reached out to him. And, they talked, and Jordan, and in his deal with Universal Studios through his production company Monkey Paw, bought the movie from Netflix to release it and in theaters. So not only it wasn't going to be a streaming film, and now it actually was in theaters, and it did really well. So I'm just hoping for
Jordan.
more. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I also wanted to let it be known that Jordan Peele is now an adjective, so a film can be very Jordan Peele-y. Thank you, Jay.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yes, I'm going to sign off. I can't do better than that.
When I see that Jordan Peele smell, okay, that's going to be great. It has like a zest effect. I don't know if it's the Peele word or what, but there's a zest thing happening where I'm definitely going to go see it.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, there was parts when I was watching it, especially when they get into the political stuff, that I think there was times initially where I'm like, oh, do I not understand? Like, I know a little bit about, some of the issues in like Indian politics, especially around like Modi and all that I know, like, people commented on like RRR, that there was like, there's some stuff that people had issues with, that like, I was worried watching this, that I'm like, am I not fully understanding what's being, and I'm sure there's stuff that I didn't miss, but I think that you're still able to, like we talked about, connect to, well, we can see this in whether it's India or America or France, like we see we can connect to which I thought it just said so much about what Dev put together, that like you don't have to know the specifics of, it's not just this system, this is about people, right?
Yeah.
What I caught from that too, just because I was very curious about the depiction as I got into this, I'm like, okay, now that I see that this is getting into that, the more the faith, religious, political sphere, like how close to the line did he get? And is this part of why this movie maybe didn't get the hype or the marketing that it deserved? Like where's that controversial line basically? And it did, his story was pretty much, he ripped apart a lot of the things that play into, whether it's I think it's Ram is what Hanuman worships. So like removing some of these figures and key elements from the story, I think helped keep the focus kind of more narrow into that symbolism that gets the point across without getting deeper into, you know, religious figures or faith and things that might actually upset people. But I think in terms of the socio side, like he went pretty deep into the nationalism and the elements of, you know, the what was his name? I'm forgetting who that guard, like that high up figure. So you have like the authoritative versus the nationalism, maybe the far right element, and then that prominent figure that was originally that figure to watch and appreciate as someone who's of the people for the people, but weaponized by that regime. So it's like that three-headed power that, you know, he wasn't saying it outright, but it was pretty outright to me. And I love that someone was kind of making that point.
Well, and it's interesting too how it was layered in with the story. Like when we get the full picture in the background of what happened to Dev Patel's character when he was a child, and then how all of it is connected to this movement. Like it's because at times I felt, for me, it was like, all right, what? You kind of understand what happened, and then it just like it's just like layer after layer of horror, and just shows you like, well, this is the like this guy that you first see in like what's like a fun commercial, like look at this guru, he's a nice guy,
and then the bar scene, right? It's like the very beginning. You're like, okay, commercial, got it. Like
and then like by the time it gets to the end, and you're like, no, this is what, like this whole thing has been built on the backs of people like him and his mother who were just eliminated, and like when you find out how his hands are all messed up,
I wasn't ready.
I
was not prepared.
No.
And that's something I wanted to ask this group. I'm like, did anyone see that? Because I think that was I try really hard when I watch movies to see if I can anticipate those themes, like where's this detail, where's this heading, and he did such a great job of like maneuvering the story. Even just those mini edits, like the lighter switching on and off, and just the hyper focused moments. I still had no clue what that leveling moment was, and I'm glad to see I wasn't alone.
no, which just added all the power to it, right? Like, for me, it's just the extra sock in the gut.
God.
So one of the things that's interesting about this movie is, you know, it starts out as this revenge story, and you know, again, to use the parallel that the like intentionally puts in this, like a John Wick thing, that like I'm gonna come and get this guy, but then it flips into an Avenger story. Like now I'm not just going, you know, I'm not just getting revenge for how I was wronged, but now I'm going to, you know, I'm going to be a voice of the people. I'm just interested in how you all thought that transition made. Like, do you think that it felt like it was natural, or did it feel like it was, because it's a tough thing to do in these kind of movies. Like, are they able to kind of flip that focus effectively or not? So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I thought so. I feel like all of the revenge movies that we've seen, or that, are coming out, right, are usually, it's kind of like along the same lines. Like, okay, person is wronged, the person like trains to like then go after, this one person. And this is like so much more than that. Like, yes, he's out for revenge, but through it, like, it's weaving in all these different themes that we just talked about. It's also weaving in like the oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? Like the background, like the stories and everything, like this, like kind of like the Hindu, like like all this mythology. It's doing that. It's also highlighting marginalized communities. It's how you're also like you can't go into this alone, because usually we're seeing like, okay, like revenge stories, like this person, of course, like you have maybe like a person or so like that trains you, to then be able to like fight this person at the end. But it's now this, no, you're actually in community, and being in community is actually, you're going to go a lot farther than you thought. That's at least one of the themes that I was also getting out of it. So how he becomes, he goes from like being just about revenge to building your community, or like building oneself within a community, and everything, I think is just beautifully done. And so by the end, right, they're coming, obviously, like, and people from the community are like also fighting off people, which was amazing. And I was like, yes, that's right, like, I love it.
Coming in.
Yes, and I was just oh my god, like, can we talk about those costumes? Okay,
Please.
I know.
but it's just, so I think it did it was very well done. Yeah, that's my long-winded answer for that. But yes, like 10 out of 10, no notes for me. For sure. Yes.
I think one thing for like that ending, I'm still stewing on the ending. I gotta say, like when they panned the ending, they're looking at the imagery, and like I feel like Dev's trying to. I don't even know if Dev's trying to do a cautionary tale or just some sort of reminder, but maybe that last like 10 minutes is that cautionary tale of you don't get out of this by following that exact same track, but focusing back on that community building element, and that, like the third part of it, I'd say, was, I think, the strongest and most powerful messaging of you can rise up through this, you can flip the script, we can totally have more power with a group that is out for each other through faith, and taking down these regimes that are trying to do it the other way. But I did wonder if that one-on-one moment was that mythology callback of this is that going for the sun moment, when he was trying to take down that figure.
Right, yeah,
like, too far. And that was where I kind of stopped for my mythology studies and was like, I need to dig into that a little bit. I feel like there's something more there that I wasn't quite nailing yet.
Well, and there's something in that moment too that disturbed me a bit when he's, having his confrontation with Baba, that there's like the fireworks going on, right? And that like almost in the face of that, of course we know like where this goes, but there's part of it that's like, well, he went through this this battle, to call back to the raid, it's like the battle up the tower, right? And went through this, like he conquered his personal demon, but outside of this tower, like to the people who are being fed all this crap from this guy, like there's these celebrations, and you're like, oh, this guy, like he probably just got elected, and like you did all this, but he's gonna come away with the power. And I like, and who are you? Like, and of course we know where it goes, but if there's just part of it that feels like, oh, like, I don't know, almost like it's just that despair that, I don't know, for me is not like super uncommon these days, of like, you can only fight so much, but like there's so much else out there. And
that was kind of that's what resonated with me too. Just like, oh right,
there's so many cogs in the machine. Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Well, that's why, back to that, the highlighting of caste systems and these layers in between, that's it did hail back to a bit of the Slumdog Millionaire too. Like that's where Dev just, it was hard for me to remove that character from it, just watching him so closely into that that notion. But yeah, it's that ending.
There's one of the songs I think that's from Slumdog Millionaire.
Ah,
I think when he's in the brothel or whatever, he's in the
Okay.
fighting in the brothel, and one of them comes on. I was like, "Where do I know
Wait
this
a minute.
song from?" Wait a minute, and I was like, "Is this from Slumdog Millionaire?" Stop. And someone can feel free to fact check me, but I swear, and I've watched it multiple times. Okay, I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure this is from Slumdog Millionaire."
that's
This
worth
song right
checking.
here.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I really
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like there's a tie between that. There has to be, and
Yeah.
and also just the soundtrack game in and of itself was
The soundtrack was
it added to
great.
the entertainment for sure.
Yeah, I heard
Good
Jordan
choices.
Peele had a lot to do with that piece of it because he came in.
That
That's
makes
what I'm
sense.
in
That makes
pro-
sense.
Yeah, he came in post production when he bought the film, or Universal bought it for him, and he was heavily involved in like kind of like a re-edit, kind of like polishing as well as the songs in the film. So
The Peel
That's-
Zest is alive. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
for bringing it
very
through.
appealing,
It's just
very appealing.
Yes, nice.
well, it's
Yeah.
interesting too, because like Jackie talked about, I'd read a lot about how, like you said, that there's a lot of segments in this movie that were filmed just on Dev's phone. But there was things like, what was it? They didn't have anything to like feed the people to work, so like Dev had to beg for like $75 to get food or something. Jackie, you probably know the better details.
Are
there.
you ready for my list? Actually, I
Yes.
don't know anything about the food. The food thing, I don't. That's new. That's new. I didn't see.
That I could be I just remember there was something that he needed that like he had to fight to get $75 for, and
Oh, that's
and
okay.
like
I have to look that
and
up.
it's just you wonder, well, it would have been great if Jordan was around then because we wouldn't
Right.
be. But then would it be the same film? Like
That's true.
one
Maybe
of
it's
the
good he
things-
wasn't as involved early on, just to
Mhm.
keep that magic happening.
right. I mean, how
Mhm.
often have we seen a director like pulls together this incredible like shoestring movie, and then they get this ridiculous budget and it's too much,
Yeah.
right? Like, you
Yeah,
can't hold it
yeah.
together, like, so I hope that with Dev, like, all right, well, this hopefully has bought him cred. Now do
Yes.
something else with a little, so you don't have to fight quite so hard for everything, and hopefully you'll still deliver something of the same.
Is that like a James Wan comparison? Like just someone who went through all the gamut
That's
of
a good one.
Hollywood, got his
James-
money, and he's like, I'm doing my movies now.
Right,
Like
right.
that is that's
Jake
the
is the
story
guy,
that I
Jake,
love.
who could you think of? And I know you probably have somebody on like the tip of your mind, unless I've put you on the spot with like, who's somebody that we've talked about who has like put out this like great like shoestring movie, and then the next one is like they had too much money.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can
sorry.
you think of a good example?
There's a ton of like that's why they call it the sophomore slump. Like
Yes.
I'm like Richard Kelly with
Well,
was
it's all
it
male
Alpha
directors.
Tales?
I know that much.
Well, you can
I'm just.
I
was
have
gonna
nothing
say,
in
not
my
to be
catalog.
controversial, but wasn't Wonder Woman an example
Oh,
for the sequel?
yes.
It was like the first one was like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
good, and the second one was just too much hype, too much on it, and
That
just-
was yeah.
No, I
that was
hate
rough.
using that as an example, but I just
Yeah, I know.
that
I
one
know.
came to mind. We can cut that
Yeah.
out if you want.
Nope, it stay. Everything stays.
Kristen, why?
Like, what am I doing here?
Oh,
No, like
man.
one we've talked about is John Woo, and specifically like Mission Impossible 2, and that like he got this
Yeah, use that one.
bread and came over to America, and then here's
we like
John
that
Woo. We're gonna give you all the money in the world and like one of the biggest stars, and it's like there needed to be someone saying no to John at some point,
Yeah.
and when there's no, sometimes it just
Ooh, I'm sorry. Would another one be like Tarsum Singh? Because he did The Cell, he did The Fall, which were
Oh,
incredible movies.
I
Yeah.
love
And then you got Immortals, and I'm like, I think
That
you were
was-
given. I think you got too much money. Listen, who doesn't love Henry Cavill? Okay, who doesn't? But at the same time, and Frida Pinto is also in there. But I'm just like, no, dude, I think you need to go back to like working with Michael, because he also had like Mirror, and I was just like,
Yeah,
Tarsum, we are better than this.
he did a weird
We're better
thing
than
there.
this.
Yeah, That's a
Jay
good
and
call.
Jackie, this is like we've talked about before. Like one of our favorite hobbies is coming up with supposed other movie podcasts.
Yeah.
The
Tarsum
Denzel
cast.
cast.
The Tarsum.
Let's
There you
do
go.
it.
The
Well,
whole
or
film.
the
Yeah,
sophomore
seriously.
slump, and there's probably a podcast out there that does this already,
I'm
but
sure
like the
there's 4 of
sophomore
them.
slump cast.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good. Yeah. That
Or
would be a
we'll
good
do-
one to call out.
What we really have to do is the podcast where it's just about podcast ideas. And
Yes. There you go.
people really
Podcast.
wanna
what-
listen
The
to
meta
that.
one.
It's yeah, the meta Inception. Like
Right.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Go
say
deeper.
Inception. Yes.
All right, so
But we
because
need this list as a teaser. We are not
The
leaving
list.
without
Right,
this
The
list.
right.
list. 'Cause it's,
Right.
it's freaking ridiculous.
I
Okay.
love it.
All right. So like I said, he
Oh
had
yeah, the list, please. Let's go to the list. We need to hear this.
Okay. So like I said before, he had to bail on India. That was like 4 to 5 months of prep work, and then COVID happened. So then he had to move it to Indonesia. He lost his production designer and his John Wick's fight choreographer. So he had a fight choreographer from John Wick's. He couldn't it's like conflicts and all that.
Interesting.
His gaffer UD passed away.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a lot of his camera equipment into India. 2 weeks before shooting in his like fight training, his toes got broken because he was stabbed
Okay.
during training.
Let me continue the list, but I have questions, but we'll have to.
Broke his hand in the first fight scene. Shot
Is
the
this
film.
more real then? That's like,
He had a nail. He had a nail in his hand and shot with that nail in his hand through the entire film. The entire film. The crew had these shirts that were made that had like an X. His X-ray was this. So they had shirts. The crew wore shirts with this, with the X-ray, and yeah. So I just thought that was like a fun thing. I was like, oh,
wow.
interesting. Okay. During the VIP fighting scene, so it's like I can only describe it as like that blue and purple scene.
Yeah.
So that because they ran out of money, there were no tables. There were no tabletops on the tables, so we had to kind of shoot it as
Higher
such.
up.
So you higher up, so you couldn't see the tables. So they're working with like 3 good tables in that shot.
It's so interesting because I thought that was a design choice. Like that's how
It was. I mean, it was.
Like,
yeah. In
minimalist.
theory, it was. Right.
Purpley blues.
It was. Yeah, exactly.
That's so good.
They couldn't. Okay, so there's a water tank scene. He couldn't afford a water tank, so he filmed in his tub and shot it on his iPhone.
Oh my god! I need to rewatch this just for this list now. Like this episode is just watch for like the Easter eggs that you're listing out.
I mean, because again, I was listening to this interview going, anyway. So only 8 stuntmen, like I said before.
Wow. In the context of the movie.
There were he said between 300 to Dev said between 350 to 400 people in this crew, and they all spent 9 months in a bubble in a hotel because again, COVID.
Because of COVID. Wow.
Right.
He started writing this over 10 years ago. And I'm just going to reiterate for everyone because my obsession knows no bounds with the Raids movies, but he took his inspiration from those films as well as Bruce Lee films and Korean cinema.
Yep.
And like I said, his stuntman one of his stuntmen shot the elevator fight scene, so that was cool. Tore his shoulder, had an eye infection, and also something that didn't go wrong, but I thought that was kind of cool, was that he actually had met the Daniels at South by Southwest and had a conversation with them. And this was before Everything Everywhere All at Once. So they were talking about how they were trying to get their movie off the ground, and he was trying to talk about how he's trying to get his movie off the ground. And here we are. There we go.
Here we are at the end of both of them where I'm saying I just felt Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like that's I knew they tied, it just has to tie somewhere.
That's
There
awesome.
you go. Yeah.
That was beautiful, Jackie. Thank you. I have to rewatch
well
it
done.
with all
Well
of that
done.
element now.
I think the part where I just remember something else. So the part with like the nail in his hand. So that scene when he's like trying to like run out of the window and it bounces back.
Yeah.
Right, he bounces back. That
Okay.
was actually a choice because of his injury. 'Cause I guess he couldn't put pressure on it, so they decided to just make that like a scene, and then so that he wouldn't have to like actually crash through a
Right.
window. So it's funny, but also purposeful. Like
That's a good double whammy then, because I found those little elements refreshing. Where I'm like, finally, it's not someone just busting through on a
Exactly,
white tap
yeah.
on a window.
Right.
Like that's what it would happen.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was doing everything else, right? It was like he
Yeah.
was doing everything else.
Right.
Make that
right.
one real.
Right, that one, but yeah. So, oh my
That's
god.
awesome.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I was very charmed. I listened to the director's commentary and how what a cinephile he is. Like, he constantly make references to other filmmakers. Like the opening scene, he references Aronofsky's The Wrestler, and
Oh,
I could
yeah.
totally feel that. But then just like kind of like cinephile nerd movie stuff. At one point in the commentary, he's like, "Oh, this is my PTA or Paul Thomas Anderson shot," and then another point, he's like, "This is a poor man Jonathan Glazer shot," and I'm just like,
Ooh.
I just
That's
love
amazing.
how film literate he is. Like he is a true like cinephile, and it's not just like
Right.
I want to look cool in a movie. This is not that at all, because
Right.
it could be a vanity project. There plenty of actors have done that, but
Yeah.
he
Right.
is just like all in, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, I mean the amount of, again, like when I was like looking at this list, I'm going, you have to, and the interviewer said that she's like, you have to really love films, and like, yeah, like anything to get the shot, like that's
Right.
this is your life's work, this is your life's passion, and so just to see him just go this balls to the wall with everything that's like he's had to go through is just, it's so inspiring. And honestly, like one day this is one of my this is on my list, is like I just want to like go up to, I just want to meet him and go, dude, I'm so freaking proud of you. Like you have no idea who I am, but like I'm
You're like,
so
you see the energy it took. You see this.
Seriously. Oh, so good.
Oh, yeah.
Admirable.
Wonderful. Well, this I feel like we could keep going on for like hours here, and I think we got to stop at some point. And let's leave it there. Again, Jackie and Kristen, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Yes, thank
Jackie,
you.
what do you have going on? What does Our Voices Project have coming up and going on that people should check out? Or where can they find the work that you're doing right now?
Yes. So if you go to ourvoicesproject.com, you can see listed where you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. By the way, no one calls it X. Everyone's calling it Twitter.
It's Twitter.
It's still Twitter. Yeah, and on TikTok as well as our YouTube channel. Again, youtube.com/@ourvoicesproject. You can see our podcast there as well. We're also on Spotify. Our podcast is called Representation in Cinema. And we talk about films like from a representation lens. And let's see, we finished a film and are trying to get it into film festivals. It's called Being Black in America. Yeah, so Being Black in America, it's a documentary short. We sit a few of our friends down and we have them answer the question, what is it to you to be black, being black in America? And so it's just kind of that open-ended question, and we're kind of seeing them like get into a bunch of different conversations just based on this one question. And so so that's what we're hoping to do. We are in post-production for another film with two indigenous families, one from the Oneida Nation and one from the Tuscarora Nation, talking about their similar experiences and different experiences, of course, being from two nations. And then we just wrapped. We're doing so many things.
All the
so
things.
It's just, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. And but yeah, no, we just wrapped this documentary with the Rainbow Seniors Rock. So they're a group of individuals, queer individuals, 55 and up, who are talking about their experiences growing up as well as coming out, and a bunch of other things that they have and advice that they have for younger generations. But yes, eventually, I hope. Yeah, it was so rewarding. I definitely had a lot of moments of just like, oh my God, protect them all. But Yeah, at some point, and I have also just got to tell my business partner, like, listen, we got to cool it because I can't handle this much right now. It's crazy. We got like 3 movies, a podcast. We also do panel discussions. We're trying to get into film festivals. Eventually we will get into narratives. I already have an idea for one
Nice.
that I really want to do. So stay tuned. But yes, ourvoicesproject.com. Check out all of our social media handles as well as YouTube. And sign up for our newsletter so you can find out more information.
Fabulous. And I believe Our Voices Project is our partner on the Lunchador Podcast Network, correct?
Yes. So you will find us there with a bunch of other amazing people talking about a lot of different topics, which is really, really cool. So we're excited to also be a part of that network. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just, again, it's a part of the great community we have in Rochester. Again, to me, what is a central part of our Rochester film community and just the community of supportive, awesome people is our friend Kristen here. Again, Kristen, thank you for joining us. If our listeners are like, wait, I don't know Kristen, and like, I need to be plugged into the hype that she's bringing and, all the love and discussion of movies, where could people find you or follow you?
Yeah, I still do that whole leap thing with my name being in numbers. So I'm on Twitter. It is Twitter with KR15739. It's Kristen, all numbers and letters. The joy of that. Surprisingly, I didn't fight too many other nerdy Kristens for that. So a lot of the platforms I can use just follow that around.
Nice.
But unlike Jackie, I've been more in a dormant stage because I have a very small human that I've been bringing into the world, keeping alive. And with that, I'm hoping as he's more mobile now, and it's letting me get back to the world of these other things that I am very passionate about. Not that he's taking me away from it. It's just a different flavor, and I'm excited to get more on the scene and be a little louder than I've been in the past year. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Absolutely. Wonderful. Yeah, make sure you check her out. And, one of the movies that I think Kristen was one of the, and Jackie as well, one of the premier hype people for. This is a great connection to what's coming up next for Punches and Popcorns. We're on a short break right now. We just finished our first official season of episodes. That was Once Upon a Time in the 80s, where we went through a bunch of our favorite 80s martial arts films. So, check those out. We are on all the major podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find popcorn. I would like to say wherever you find popcorn, you'd find us. Never see me eating it. Wherever you find your podcast, you can find us and find those episodes. But the next season we are starting in just a couple weeks, maybe a week after you hear this. Our second season that we're coming out is Shining Stars, the Women of Martial Arts films. So we're taking the opportunity to highlight just some of our favorite women martial art movie stars and picking each episode, selecting a specific star and one of their movies to highlight. And the movie that we're starting with is the movie we mentioned before, Michelle Yeoh and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
So, I'm really excited. I hope that you'll tune. If you love that movie, I know. Kristen, how many times did you see that in the theater? It felt like every week you were.
There was a while when it first came out, because thankfully we did the sneak peek. We got to get that early glimpse, and I just remember I was an 11 from that point on. I was like, something about this movie, I am not apologetic. And the fact that it swept the Oscars and had all this award season afterwards, I felt very validated. I was like, listen, I'm just saying, I think this is something pretty decent.
Trendsetter.
Maybe it's too mainstream now. I don't know. Like A24 got too big now, but I feel like I was apologizing most of that year for my hype, and then later I was like, now you know.
Right. Yeah,
I did see it at least 5 times in theater, and I recommend seeing it multiple times because each audience had a different reaction to it. So it was a very, social experiment of sorts. So yeah, it was fun.
I felt like it was like every week I would see you on Twitter, like, I'm taking so-and-so to this movie.
I needed to be sedated. It was getting rough. Like, it was It was a lot.
Well,
Listen, okay, to be fair, there are people who have seen movies like 30 times. First of all, like,
Yes.
what are you doing to get that amount of money? But also, like, you're not, 5 is nothing, okay?
That's true. I appreciate that. I feel like I kept it contained, but like in the day-to-day conversation, I was usually weaseling it in somewhere. Like I wore the eyes on my forehead to work. Like, that was the level I was getting at, and people are like, "What's going on?" Like, I just,
Well,
yeah.
as a preview, when you listen to our Everything Everywhere All at Once episode, I definitely talk about that special screening that the Little held that both Kristen, Jackie, and myself were all there. And we talk about like that experience, just watching kind of the ripple on social media from that event and like how it was such a big part of Rochester. So, and again, you were a huge part of that. Both of you were. I know, Jackie, you were really hyping that up as well. And to connect to the other show that we did that is definitely coming back this year, we need to talk about the Oscars. That was the year that Everything Everywhere All at Once swept things, and we talk about that movie extensively across almost every episode because it was nominated in almost every category. So it was Everything Everywhere All at Once, and
still knocked out everything, you know.
We sort of helped it. We helped it get there, is what.
Right, exactly. So, find us again, Jackie, Kristen. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We are on all those same socials: the Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and all that. It's at Punches and Popcorn on all those. So check us out. If you like what you hear here, please subscribe and follow on whatever your preferred podcast platform is. Jackie, Kristen, I hope that we can have you both back on again for other stuff. Please. This has been a lot of fun.
We get to talk more. I'm so
more movies.
Yeah, bring on the Raid 2, my friend. Come on.
It's coming. Yeah, it needs to happen.
Come on.
So,
just to keep consistent, I've been talking about the Raid, right? So move to Raid 2. That's what I'm just saying.
We need to bookend this. Yes,
it needs to happen. All right. Thank you again, everyone listening. Thank you, and good night.
This has been a presentation of the Lunchroom Podcast Network.
Hey everyone, this is Dina Jones, one of the founders of Joe Bean Roasters. At Joe Bean, our mission, Coffee That Lifts Everyone, is about giving selling power back to coffee farmers, as well as purchasing power into the hands of our customers. Through our network of farmers, we're able to bring you naturally grown, amazing coffee directly. Our long-term farming partners negotiate pricing based on cost of production as well as quality of product, not on fluctuating, unpredictable market prices. This enables them to create thriving businesses with bright futures. And our customers get empowered knowing exactly who grows their coffee and how, as well as knowing they are a part of a new, sustainable, global coffee network. To try our coffee, go to joebeanroasters.com and be sure to check out our Perpetual Joy coffee subscription to receive a rotating selection of single origin coffee delivered right to your door. Thank you to all our Rochester friends who have supported us and our farming partners so wonderfully over the years. You are making a difference with every bag.